What's up, everybody? Thanks for checking out this tip from turningpointmusic.net. Today, I want to do a quick tip on how to effectively use and manage your groups in Pro Tools. So I have a session open here with a whole bunch of groups going on. And what I was taught, and this isn't a bad thing, but I think I have a better way, but what I was taught is that you can, if you want to efficiently toggle your groups on and off, that you can assign them to a given letter. So in order to use that kind of functionality, you need to know a couple of things. First of all, you need to know how to toggle your key command focus over here, which is Option Command 3 on the QWERTY row, which is the top row on your keyboard. So along those lines, there are three commands we'll talk about today. Option Command 1 brings your little A to Z over here in focus, which brings all your single keystroke key commands into play, like R and T for zoom in and out and all that good stuff. Then you got Option Command 2, which is the 2 on your QWERTY row, which brings your clips into focus. And I could hit the letter E to jump to the first E here and all that. And then I could go Option Command 3, QWERTY 3, and then brings this A to Z into focus. And then, for example, I could toggle this kicks on and off by just hitting the letter E as I'm doing now. And that's cool. That's all well and good. Now let me just out of good practice, I'm going to go back to Option Command 1. But the thing there with the groups that only has limited viability is, well, a few things. One, you've got 4 banks of 26 groups. So you've got A through Z, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you got 104 possible groups. And the idea that you might remember all of them is kind of not likely. And of course, you can just go and look. But, Avid teaches, put your drums group on D, which it happens to be here. I don't know if that was even intentional, and things like that. But you'd have to do a couple things to get your group functionality going. If you're in your normal working mode and you've got your A to Z here on, you'd have to go Option Command 3, and then you'd have to go, okay, I'm going to hit D, toggle that on or off. Then I'm going to go back to Option Command 1. It's a little bit more than I like to do. So I think there's a better way, and that's by just simply toggling all your groups on and off, which is just Shift Command G. So ultimately, that's the essence of this tip, is getting to know and get comfortable just toggling all your groups on and off with Shift Command G. But if you take that idea a little bit further, again, Shift Command G, toggle all your groups on and off. And if you ever forget that, that's right here, suspend all groups, Shift Command G. The deeper implication of that I like to think about is when you're first creating a group. Let's say I'm making a group out of these 2 tracks. Group, Command G to make a group. Call that a couple Vox tracks just because that's all it is. But think about your attributes. So click over to attributes, turn off follow globals, and think about which of these things will I ever want to be linked. So to me, that's probably almost everything. And if you want to turn on a whole row, just option click, or column rather, option click for the column, control click for the row, as it were. But just turn on everything you might ever want to be linked, which could very well be everything. Here, LFE is low frequency emission, and we're not in 5.1, so that doesn't matter. But point being, because it's so easy to toggle all your groups on and off, and thereby all the properties of all the groups on and off, link everything you might ever want to be linked and say, okay, and then just have your groups off almost all the time. That really is the essence of the tip. I just find that really useful, and I used Pro Tools for a long time before I really realized just how useful that is. The other little piece I'll throw in here is if you have lots and lots of groups, as it gets more and more complicated, you see I leave most of them on, but what I wouldn't leave on, generally speaking, is big groups that contain other groups. So the best example here is I have a drums all group, but within that drums all group, I have a kicks group, a snares group, a hats group, because I have multiple tracks in there. I don't want to leave the drums all group linked, because if I toggle all my groups on, I might be thinking, oh, it's just my kicks are linked, and I'll turn up a kick track and all my drums go up, because again, I have groups containing members of other groups. So Shift Command G, toggle all your groups on and off, like so. And then if you're leaving them all on like I do, remember that little tip of don't leave on your big mega groups that contain other groups. Try it out. I hope you dig it. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.